Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 10 of Assignment Calculus. My name is Muhammad Shakir bin Samaruddin. My metric number is AE210009.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hazwan Azraf bin Muhammad Azman and my metric number is AE210025.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shariful Amin bin Zakaria and my metric number is AE210012.
So we go to the first question, which is plot a graph of the voltage versus time. So far we have to create scale X. We put 0, 1, 10. And then we write down the y equation, which is 50 multiplied by 250 by x, and then we just write plot x, y. So this is the graph. I think we have to change the scale because it's too big. So we just click the right, and then we change to 0.0001, and then 0.01. Click the up arrow, and then just click on the question. So this is, I think, smooth than before. We just label it for title, voltage versus time, and then for X label, time, the unit is seconds, and for Y label is voltage, unit is volt, V. Okay, and then we go to the next question.
Okay, for the question 1B, the question needs us to plot the graph y versus x, which is y is current and x is time. So the first step is we must plot the x-axis and write down the scale at the x-axis, which is 0 and 0.004, and lastly we write down the 0.04 for the x-axis. Then we press enter and we must type for the y-axis, which is current, and y is 3 divided by 80 times 5, and we put the equation cos 255 times x. So we get the reading of y-axis and plot xy. Plot. Okay, then we got our graph and label for the x-axis, which is time in second. For the y-axis, we put current in ampere. Okay, so we must also title for the graph, which is current versus time. And the question also want us to calculate the current value at time 4 millisecond. So we must zoom our graph and search for 4 milliseconds, and we got the answer is x at 0.004, at y-axis is negative 0.11781, which is same with our answer in hand calculation. So that we get the true answer. Next question.
For next question, question 1C, we need to build a graph, power versus time. First, we need to insert the x scale 0 by increment by 0.01 and then 0.1 maximum scale. Then we need to insert the y equation, which is 3 times 10 power of negative 6 equal with 50 sine 250 pi x, which is x is time and then times 12500 pi and then multiply with times cos 250 pi x, and then we are already calculate in radian, so it is equal to 0 in that bracket. So we plot the graph xy, and then we got straight line. So we need to label x-axis is time and y-axis is power in watt. So we also need to insert the title, power versus time, and lastly we need to plot at the time 0.04, which is the power is 0. Okay, next question, which is question 2.
So for the question 2A, plot a graph of the voltage versus time. So like before, we have to make the scale, which we put 0, 0, increment by 0.5, and with 10. So for the y equation is 0.5 minus by v times x, then again power of -1 times by exponent -3 x. Wait, just the exponent is 3 times x, just for exponent. Just the error, and then you just plot it. So we have like usual, we put the title, voltage, versus time. For the y label, for the x label is time in seconds, and y is voltage, which is V. So we go to next question.
Okay, for the question 2B, we must plot graph current versus time. So we must type the x scale, which is x is equal to negative 0.7 with increment with 0.005, and maximum scale is 1. Sorry, for the increment is 0.05, and for the y equation, for the y-axis is y equal is 10 plus 60 times by x, which is x is time, and times with 18 inverse and exponent inverse exponent to the power negative 3x. So we plot the graph for xy. And we get the graph. So we must label. For the x-axis is time, which is in second, and for the y-axis is current in ampere. So we put the title, which is current versus time. And last question asks us to find the current at specific time, which is 0.35. 0.35, we zoom in, and 0.35 is at the y-axis is 0.602, which is same with hand calculation and our MATLAB software. So the answer is true. The final answer is true. So next question.
Okay, for question number 2C, we need to plot the graph energy versus time. For the x-axis, we need to put the scale negative 0.7 by increment by 0.05, and the maximum scale is 1. And then for the y-axis, the function is 10 plus 60x, which is x is time, times 18 the power of negative 1 exponent negative 3x times 10 plus 60x times 18 the power of negative 1 exponent negative 3x and times 3/20. And instead of enter, we need to plot the energy versus time graph x1. Then we got the graph. So we need to plot energy in joule and time at x-axis is in second. And inside the title, energy versus time. And then we need to plot the specific time, which is 0.75. So we got the y, which is energy 0.0155577, which is same with hand calculation. That's all.